With that, welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, NXT Tier 1 on the way after yesterday's TRX race has decided, TRX drivers have decided that they want the race cancelled. We are back finally here in NXT, and today's race on the line, it is the Tier 1 race, and following up is going to be the Tier 2 race right after. So make sure to stick around even after this, as we are currently heading into qualifying. We've got 14 people currently on the grid. It's gonna be 16 by the end of its qualifying. At least 16 people have made the attendance. Ziesel, TRX driver, pulled out last second. So, the track, as said, flying along the coastlines of this beautiful, beautiful country. It's a Portimao Grand Prix, and well, we are here for the second time in NXT history. Probably the last time, at least for the F1 division at the Algarve International Circuit. And we have had some beautiful memories. Takubi took the win here in Season 1. Only one tier at that time, so definitely gonna see this in the LMU division in the summer, but not in F1 anymore. So let's have a look at the track ourselves. It's a 5.6 kilometer long track with two really long straights. The first one being one of the longest straights because the last turn is technically fed out 15 corners, 1.16 second minute lap times, and we see turn 1 not the best of overtaking spots. Usually something happens there in Season 1 as well, with Tom, Nicholas and Mike coming together there. Then turn 5, it's really slow cone, a good overtaking opportunity out of the acceleration, as well as Takubi as well as Carlos Sainz have shown us in the past. Then turn 13, you can really capitalize here on turn 1, lap 1 chaos. But especially when you're on the soft tires. Speaking about tires, the C1, the C3 and the C2 are going to accompany us. The C1, you're probably not going to see too much of it since this is a really hard tire. So we're probably going to see the C3 and the C2 in qualifying. So, whoopsie. We're here, 15 people currently on the grid. 2 more people about to join with likes of LDM as well as Pro Ultra. Currently I've had several requests about co-commentating. Back, you can also tell that to Max that my OBS is... I tried it yesterday on stream. And it was bugging in the form of people couldn't hear people I was in Discord with. So if you please also could tell that Max. Nicholas is commentating. Nicholas himself. Oops, there. We have it. Let's have a look at the track map as well as first drivers on the track. Probably not the first in line. I think that is, yes, it's Sukarek, one of the many new drivers we have here today. And he's provisionally going purple in the middle section of the track. So people that have arrived today are Flourish, who's replacing Jake, and Zino, who's the new Haas main, Sukarek, and Khalifa in P7. I can tell that to him. I can tell that to him if it's even possible. So, Sukarek, first time of the day, 16.6. And Zino with a 16.9. Then we have Magnus with a 17.0. 16.4 to Flourish. Apple Juice 16.9 going to P3. Thompson 18.1 at the back of the grid currently. I'm not commentating tier 2 because I am away at the AMS league, at another league there. So Thompson breaks one of the breaking boards. Next season I'm definitely gonna commentate. I'm definitely gonna try to commentate as much tiers as I can. Depends on how many people we'll get. So let's watch Khalifa, one of the Nordic drivers that is driving here for the very first time. I'll open my Discord DMs to. So LDM can DM me. So Khalifa to the line he goes, 17.7, currently P9. Then we have Loswell, and wait, actually let me check what his Discord user tag is. So we have Caden, we have Sukarek, we have Loswa. I'm not too sure who he is. Ah, I think his tag is Lion. Yes, his tag is Lion. Alright, alright. So a lot of people on invalid laps currently. Only 3 more people yet to set a lap time. Fresh Beaker, the previous tier 2 champion from season 3. The reigning champion of Roy the Boy. And Varun, as Edward tops the standings once again, the championship leader, currently looking to make the gap between himself and LDM even bigger. LDM is going to join us in about 2 minutes, so we're definitely going to see him, as Fresh Beaker has crossed the line. He has invalidated, presumably in the last corner. Caden on his in-lap. Same for Magnus. Apple Juice to the line he comes. It's going to be a 16.5 promoting the Mercedes driver to P3. Some extraordinary improvement from him when you look at the results of last season, where he got last on his very debut. Now he's fighting at the front. Currently, a lot of people in the pit lane taking on a new set of tires. Usually you would go for the softer set of tires here. With that I mean take 4 soft tires instead of 2 mediums or 2 hards, because you want the extra soft for the race, because just the hards are just terrible around here. Park Fermi is on. Alright, so we're gonna have a restart after Q. That is nothing too bad. We in my opinion, we should do lobby restarts after Q. No, either way. Just helps organizing the drivers and as Roy now goes purple in the middle section of the track. He was confident, he had some pace there. Currently P4 in the driver standings, a lot of points down to Edward. Let's see what Roy can do. Is Roy going to be able to put that Ferrari car provisionally on pole? Well, in the absence of his teammate, Roy crossed the line, and he does go pole with a 16.3. Roy with an absolute bang of a lap time. So, while no one is currently on a lap time, let me invite LDM in case he's online. He's not online yet. Alright, that's not good. So you have to join himself. So, currently looking at Enzino. He's currently down on his lap. Then we have Nox. Oh, big snap there. That is his lap out of the window, pretty much. And anyone currently who started lap? Yes, we have Ollie. Was on for a podium, got a 3-second time penalty for a collision afterwards, so he dropped down to P5. Unlucky, but Ollie has shown he has some great pace here, and he'll definitely try to get a better result than P8 right now. He's only 6/10 off pole positioner, as Thompson goes to 17.1. Seems to be a good track for the Mercedes driver. Good to see that he is feeling confident in this car. Sukarek drops down to P6 as Varun goes P5 with a 16.5. Ironically, and Ollie is 1/10 up. That 1/10 would put him out of one of the Haas's. Maybe he can pick up both of them. It's not a provisional pole from Ollie, unless he has had a really bad last sector last time around. He's gonna throw the car into the final corner, foot to the floor, and it's a 16.6. He leaves both Haas's in the dust, as well as Sukarek, who's now down in P7. I'm gonna have a quick lobby reset after qualifying. Let me check if LDM... Oh, never mind, LDM is online. Nice. So, the #1 contender for the championship, alongside Edward, is gonna join us in the second Ferrari, and there he is, ready to take it on. He has shown some extraordinary pace by taking the last 2 race wins and climbing up to P3 in the standings. Why do I say he's the #1 contender? Well, because he's only done 2 races. So we'll definitely see him rising today. So, Edwards, in the meantime, reclaims that provisional pole position with a 16.2. As now the times are getting closer and quicker. So, I think he's going out, or is he? No, he's still staying in LDM. He's going for only one run. Or he can take control of the car. That would not be a good scenario for the Ferrari driver, because he'd be in a world of trouble. So now let's watch Roy. What's the answer to Edwards' lap? Well, he's almost a 10th up currently. Coming out of sector 1 into sector 2. Down he goes and up the hill once again. Over the corner. And then down the hill and up the hill. This truly is a roller coaster of a track. Apple Juice now 60.3. He's only 1/10 of pole position. If he can find a little bit more time, he'd be up there definitely. LDM has gone out. He's going to try to get a clear track. Roy should be able to get around in time. He doesn't even finish this lap. He's going to take on a new set of soft tires. Let's hope no one gets their lap or race ruined by the invisible barrier that is on this track. We have a yellow, that's one of the Haas's. And Edward is making his way out of the pit lane. LDM currently waiting in the last corner, lining up right in front of the Mercedes of Apple Juice. They're all waiting right here currently. Baron allows both of them to go by. And the Ferrari is on the way. Let's stick with LDM for a lap of Portimao. Through the final turn he goes. Apple Juice into the pit lane. I think that is his qualifying over and done. Actually, he might get around in time to start his lap. I don't think he will. It's going to be too close. Roy's out. Edward is out. And let's watch LDM. I think he has aborted that lap attempt. Yes, he's going to go around for another one. Yeah, let's hope he has enough fuel. He should be able to lift and coast him up enough. That is Mercedes of Thompson trying to get around into the pits in time. I don't think he is going to be able to do so. Just have to retire in the pit lane. That is his qualifying. Done. P10 for him. 17.0. Not what he would have wanted, but he's not last on the track. LDM cutting some grass here. Let's hope he has enough fuel for another lap. He shouldn't get in the way of one of the McLarens that is approaching currently, because that's Lion. LDM gets out of the way. He's experiencing and never mind, he's just warming up his tires. I thought he had a little bit of a loose rear right there. Gotta be really careful in this last sector, because sometimes just invalidate your lap attempts. Let's check out Edward. A man who's currently on pole position and has had 5 of the 6 pole positions this year. Can he make it 6? Mr. Saturday on his way around the final corner he goes. And he is going to go for another lap attempt. Roy also has gone for another lap attempt. They have all gone for another lap attempt. And now it's the final lap attempt they're going to have. Fresh Beaker is going to be able to cross the line in time and get another lap attempt off. I don't think he'll have that lap attempt. And Fresh Beaker only P15 for him. Let's hope he has enough battery in that tank to go one more lap. For Anzino it is P10. Apple Juice is only going to finish in P3. So let's watch our next car to that cross the line. That is going to be Roy. He's 1.5 tenths out. This would be enough for a pole position. Can Roy stick that Ferrari car on pole? Yes, he can. 16.1. Varun, 16.5. Knox improves to 16. Improves to 16.4. Now let's watch Edward. Edward is only half a tenth up. It is not enough. He needs to find some more time. Flourish into the pit lane. Ollie into the pit lane. Magnus into the pit lane. LDM only P13 for the Ferrari. Sukarek up to P2. Brilliant lap time there from him. Just barely missing out on pole position. What can Edward do? Can Edward get this car on pole? No, he can't. Edward has to settle down for P3. And Roy takes pole position. The reigning champion. The championship fight is still on the way. Unless Trash Speaker can pull out something in that lap, he can. But not enough for pole, but he is going to improve to P15. So that is your grid for today. Roy from Sukarek. Then Edward. Applejuice, Flourish, Knox, Varun, Ollie, Magnus, Anzino, Khalifa, Thompson, Lion, LDM, Beaker, and rounding out is Caden in the second of the Alpine car. We're gonna have a little restart of this race. But now let's have a look at it. We have seen some incredible race pace from Roy for Edwards. So park for me is gonna, we can just basically go again right after qualifying. I'll just have to So what are we gonna see here? We're gonna see a lot, some waiting for the line. We are resetting and everyone's going nuclear. Gonna be one of the best experiences you can have. Now let's just retire before. Just retire, that's reigning champion leading. Come on guys, just DNF. It's not that hard. Oh, this is always peak. Come on guys. Tommy, Varun, Roy. Guys, come on. So we're gonna be having. I'm gonna be having the yeah, that was the race, guys. Thanks for watching. No, so it's gonna be quick. Don't worry about that. So just need the drivers to head back to the lobby, and we are good. So I don't. So we have information. Tommy is not racing. Because so Fresh Beaker has quit the session because of his wheel malfunction in qualifying. So Park for me. Who cares about Park for me? So we just need structure, grid editor, then so we have Roy in P1, Sukarak in P2, use where's LDM? Wait, am I blind? Where's LDM? Why am I not here? Alright, once LDM is in. So there he is, LDM in, and finally Tommy in. me go over the grid one more time. Alright, so line is not going to rejoin. So so we are going once again. Finally now. So we are waiting. The drivers currently adjusting every setup and every single one of the setups. So 15 cars line up on the grids. 33 laps of racing, about 1 hour in, and we are going to look at the Ferrari at the front of it with the of Roy there trying to cut off Sukarek. Sukarek already trying to make the move down the inside on into turn 1. Roy gives him the space he needs. Sukarek on the inside there. Roy goes a little bit off the track. That could have been a warning there. We have the other Ferrari of LDM getting caught up together with Audi there in the midfield, but now Sukarek is going to try to go the long way around on the Ferrari car. Edward smells a chance for him to put the Williams on the inside. They're going to go 3 right into the hairpin. Roy's the bravest on the brakes currently, but Edward's going to have the inside line. We'll get a little bit of a confuffle there in the back as we see Zeno and Khalifa making contact. Flourish and Varun, but Roy ultimately stays up in front ahead of Edward and Sukarek up in P3. Oh, and there was another Flourish who's been caught up in a collision there. He's gonna have to line up at the back of the pack. And Zeno getting past Apple Juice. And Baron getting past Khalifa into P3. He goes, the Sauber. So let's have a look at the tyre strategies as Roy's now gonna go defend the inside line there from Edward. I can see Roy this time around the driver with that is currently struggling, and Roy goes to the pit lane and picks up a 10-second lap 1 retirement for Roy. What happened with Roy there? I presume he had to go. That leaves a Rune in the lead right now. Edward, Applejuice, Sukarek, and Caden, Knox, LDM, Flourish, and Ollie. All the drivers that have gone for the mediums. The rest is on the softer compound of tires. And Enzino there on the inside, getting caught up with Rune. He's currently 9/10 out in front. In the lead now, Enzino and Sukarek. Enzino's going to try to go a long way around. He goes a little bit wide there. That's not a good turn to go side by side through. Just because the track is so narrow there. And Enzino is past Sukarek. He finds himself down in P7 currently. LDM is working his way up the order. That was Thompson, who's been caught by him at the Williams. Thompson also one of those drivers that has opted for the softer compound of tires. And Varun 1.1 seconds out in front. He has shown that he can go a really good pace if he's unbothered. And Abbott is not going to have the DRS, but who is going to have the DRS is Khalifa. He's going to get down the inside. He's ahead before they even get to the turn. And Khalifa up into P2 on his debut. And Zeno with a 3-second time penalty. First one to get it. And Applejuice going to try to force himself the wrong way around. Currently stuck behind Edwards. He's got pressure from behind as Beaker's looking for the inside. And oh my god, Zeno on the inside there. What a late dive bomb. What a brilliant dive bomb there on Fresh Beaker. He did profit from the fact that Applejuice did defend against Fresh Beaker there, but I did not see that coming. Neither did Beaker. So making this 3-second time penalty, trying to make up for it. So now Beaker is going to be under pressure by the next driver. That's going to be Sukarek. He's now going to get down the inside of Beaker there. Beaker's going to have the grip advantage, and he's going to have the better line there. Sukarek looking for the inside again. Beaker is going to keep his nose ahead, and Beaker stays ahead of Sukarek. While Varun has been caught by the rest of the train. And oh, there was no room for Sukarek there. I have to try to go for it again, but now Beaker is gaining on Enzino. But he's too far out in front for him to even think about a move there. It might be time now for a lead change, and Beaker gets sent wide this time. This time from Sukarek. He hasn't lost too much, but this could be a penalty. Common, while Ollie and LDM have either made contact again, or Thompson has just found his way past. And Baron now finds himself in P2 behind Khalifa, who's taken the lead for the first time ever. Varun cuts across the track and picks up Edward. What happened there? A 3-car incident. Varun lost the rear there, steering into Edwards and picking up Applejuice in the process. Edward, the only one that has gotten away with no damage. But yeah, what happened there? What on earth? It's now Applejuice 10 seconds. Time penalty, retiring the pit lane. That's another one of those championship contenders that was looking for a strong day here in Portugal and has been sent back into the pit lane. Varun is going to be the only driver that is keeping on after getting wing damage in this game. Khalifa has made that gap 1.3 seconds out in front due to that. Wish we could look at the replay here. But yeah, that was definitely not what Varun would have wanted there, and I think he's going to get a time penalty regardless for that. Let's look at the fight at hand, and that is currently Sukarak chasing down the rear wing of Khalifa. DRS open on the Alpine. And currently everyone's still in that train except for Ollie and Magnus. Ollie now down the inside of Magnus. Finds himself now down to P12. Last car on the road if you exclude the Sauber that has just caused a major incident in Sector 1. Three of 5 cars going wide. The Aston Martin is still staying ahead. So now Edward gets past Knox out of the acceleration zone. Two drivers that have been here for a very long time. And Edward was looking in the championship, was looking at the championship. But currently, the only car that's still in this race and currently ahead of him is Fresh Beaker, that's ahead of him in the standings as well. And since Fresh Beaker is struggling with the steering on his wheel, he has dropped out of the DRS window. And is this a retirement for the Red Bull driver? Yeah, it is pretty much. Or is it? No, he just broke too late there. That's going to be the undercut for Fresh Beaker already. That 10-second time penalty is not going to come in handy, but I think he's gambling for a safety car right now. It's definitely going to come out ahead of Varun. And I think those, what I saw there, are some fresh hard compounds. Yes, it is. 3 more seconds added to the penalty counter of Enzino, who's gotten ahead of Kadner. And the top 5 are all rookies, believe it or not. Khalifa from Enzino, then Kadner, Flores, Sukarak, Edward, on Knox being the first drivers that have been here for a couple of seasons already. Then Thompson, LDM also pretty new. Same with Ollie and Magnus. Well, let's now see Enzino, who's going to be under all sort of pressure. That Alpine is almost up the exhaust of that car. Flores is going to have a look at it, and now I think he has played that very, very well, but he has kind of caused a little pine up there, Enzino. Gonna down the inside. I don't think I saw any damage, any debris flying off, but that was a Williams, and I think Flores just got too quick onto the throttle there. He's not going to be at the very, very back like Varun. Fresh Beaker serving his 10-second time penalty. I would have been surprised if he actually did that. But he could have retired earlier in the pits. Speak after his hardware problems, struggling. Ollie is Magnus really losing a lot of time here. Someone's dropping down the order. That's Khalifa. Whether there was a mistake or contact that has been made there between him and Enzino is questionable. He's going right on the rear wing of Thompson, who is having a really, really good race thus far for him. That was a disconnect. Disconnect that we can solve. Try to get back in, and Khalifa now under all sorts of pressure by LDM and Sukarak. Sukarak's gonna get down the inside there. Thompson looks on the inside there of Knox, gives him a car's width of space, and then pulls out because he knows this is not a smart move. LDM has lost another position to Sukarek now. Sukarek is gonna go try the long way. Khalifa seals down, and Sukarek really good move now. Speaking about the long way around, Thompson is gonna try the exact same thing here. Let's go on board with the Mercedes, or on board with the Haas, because the Haas is now behind Thompson, and Thompson moves up into P4. That is a really good race he's having currently. Almost would you remind you of Zandvoort season 3, where he got his only league race win, not only league race win, but only win in this league. So maybe those days are returning for Thompson. Let's see. Though in the back, because Khalifa has been passed by LDM, and I don't think those softs are gonna do him any favor anymore. And I think once lap 12 rolls around, the pit window should be open for those who have decided to go for the soft tires. It's now Knox. No, that is Knox, who's come together with Sukarek there. Closed the gap. Knox still in that train, currently sitting in P8. A really unlucky season for the Haas driver, certainly. It's now going to be a bit under pressure by Ollie, who came together with in Silverstone. And Baron has spun the car on his own. Coming up, Yuri. So it won't lag too much. 2 people in the pit. Magnus making really sure. Going really slow. He doesn't get a penalty there. And Zeno to the pit lane. Thompson, 3-second time penalty, as he now been passed by Sukarek. And LDM. LDM now 1.6 seconds off the back of his championship rival number 1. LDM really is gonna have to try to work together with Sukarek to try and close the gap to Edward. Baron's still 20 seconds off the back of the pack, so he's gonna have to hope for a safety car. But you need to be extra careful in Portimao, because if something goes wrong, the likelihood of a safety car is basically none. And am I seeing... Wait, what? I swear I saw drops of rain there. Those are drops of rain, aren't it? Are we gonna see some rain here? Now, Caden gets back past Edward. All 4 of them on the mediums. Thompson being the first. Now that's opted for the soft. And that is rain indeed. We're seeing some rain here in Portimao. Like it was in season 1. This is gonna get mixed up as now Flourish on Khalifa. So the medium strategy isn't that much of an advantage. Question is, what is Varun gonna do? He has to gamble. And is this a pit stop? Yeah, it is a pit stop. Don't get a 10 sec. He got a 10 sec. Gotta be careful in the rain. Not exactly what Varun would have wanted. Perfectly sums up his race overall. Wouldn't be surprised if he would retire. Otherwise, he has been always a driver with a lot of endurance when it comes to this. Now what are the leaders going to do? Alpine have 2 of their cars still on the track, and 2 of their cars right behind each other. The first of which Caden is going to stay out. Sukarek in. Edward in, LDM in. Thompson in. Thompson really close there. Knox in. Khalifa staying out. Flourish staying out. Those who have to double stack. Haas can afford a double stack, and those are the first intermediate tires. The green tire going on and it might actually be too early to pit here. 3-second time penalty for Varun here. Let's look at Varun and if he's gaining on Magnus, and he's kind of gaining a little bit right now. But I would say it's currently the crossover period and you're just gonna destroy your tires right there. At least that's what I think of it. And Zeno back in this, and let's see, we have direct. Apple Juice got caught up in a 3-car collision with Varun and Edward. Basically got taken out by Varun on accident. Oh, those Inters really struggling for grip. Oh, and he sends Enzino wide. Sukarek. Top 2 coming into the pit, top 3 all into the pit. I think this could be... Has the overcut worked? That is the question. They're holding each other up right now, but I think the overcut might have worked. Yeah, it did work. Or did it? It's gonna be really close. Enzino 10-second time penalty. And I think it has worked for Caden, and we have a yellow flag. That is a retirement, and it has not. Sukarek up into P2. But he is right though, the dog is OG. Edward defending the inside line. And now Sukarek is going to get him on the exit there. Sukarek on the inside, cannot go right into that turn, and he does pull out. Because that's not a good overtaking spot. Putting in Enzino retirements. After getting another 10-second time penalty. Yeah, he's going to have a lot better tires. That is great. He's currently P3. Who else also to the pits late? Flourish and Khalifa in P8. Khalifa has... Why is Khalifa on the mediums? Oh no, he selected the wrong tire compounds. That is one big bottle. LDM 3-second time penalty. It's gonna have to rely on those top drivers. Is the DRS still activated? It is. DRS is still open. And Khalifa is actually staying out. Khalifa is staying out, so it is not a pit stop on accident. Maybe it's just a small bit of rain that's gonna go away right after. So either this is really stupid or really smart of him. Because he's losing a ton right now. Zeno retiring, not a great day for him. Now, see this, Ollie and Flourish making a little bit of contact, but Flourish has gotten past. And yeah, you can see, look how much he's caught. But Caden isn't really, he doesn't feel good in these conditions, I think, because he should be on the quicker tire right now. And someone who's also on the quicker tire is Flourish, and he's gonna have to try to go a long way around. LDM is there, who's trying to complete an overtake on his own. But now Flourish is gonna have the inside line on LDM. LDM is gonna try to stick the Ferrari around the outside. It's not gonna work out for him. He has to settle down, and that is DRS gone. So perfect timing there for Flourish. Ollie's now gonna try to send it on LDM. LDM the long way around. Is gonna get a better exit in the rain. Nox watching from behind. Waiting his turn. And yeah, Caden is really holding them up right now. Flourishing on the inside there, gets past way before they get to the corner. And what was Caden doing there? For real. I mean, they kind of do crash at times, but other than the Varun incident on lap 1 was fairly decent. Caden trying everything to break the toe. Just kissing the wall. He's gonna try to send Flourish a long way around. Flourish goes the long way around, goes off the road there, has to settle down to not get an illegal overtake. Caden is doing everything he needs right now for his teammate, Sukarek. He's on for the lead, and that is Varun off into the wall. The leap into the pit lane. Smells a safety car. I think, yeah, that Varun completed without a nose. What is happening with Varun this race? Exactly. He was leading on lap 1 and now he's, well, after this collision, I think that's a retirement for sure. LDM now down to P6 and Ollie. Caden 3 seconds of time penalty, and he's now behind Flourish. That's a retirement for the Sauber. Not a good race for Varun, leads us with 10 contestants. That is Magnus going off. Why is he also on the slicks? Guys. Those are not slicks conditions, bro. Edward getting past Sukarek. Into turn 1. Ollie thinking about there on Caden. Sends Caden wide. Caden's gonna have to save the car. LDM smells a chance to regain the position on the Alpine. Now Caden is going to have the inside line. LDM has to settle down. He's really stuck behind that Alpine. Caden is going to send it on Ollie. Has he overshot himself? What is this tire lock? That will be definitely a penalty for Caden. And Ollie is now making himself the space. And he has overshot himself there. This is, as a racing driver, when frustration kicks in. Wait, what? It's not. Has Nox disconnected? Didn't even notice that. Okay, there's a new invite. He's still somehow in that fight. Oh, he was. The Giant Flourish is doing some really good work, and Ollie should save up a lap and then just go for it on either this occasion or turn 12 or turn 13. Ollie is gonna have to try to go down the inside, and I think Ollie has finally got past him. Yeah, for real, we need ourselves a Go-Jets right now. Flourish is catching the leaders, and so is LDM. LDM a bit slower than Flourish. This is a race that Williams definitely needed to extend the lead at the top of the standings. And Flourish has caught up to the leaders, and LDM is catching. So LDM is probably gonna be in this fight as well. Have they overshot their tires? I think from all the fighting, their tires kind of got fucked over. The thing is it gonna dry up or is it gonna keep on raining? That is the real question here. So, top of the Flourish now. Oh, LDM almost loses the car there. It's not going to help him catching up. That gap is now to 3.5 seconds. Edward able to pull away out in front. Not the best LDM could have wanted here. And now Super is trying everything to stay ahead of Flourish. LDM 3 more seconds, but he's really pushing and catching right now. He could go for the undercut here. But I don't know the weather forecast, so cannot say. Flourish overshoots into turn 1. That gives Super Egg a chance to come back at him. And Sukarek 3 more seconds to his penalty counter. Sukarek. Oh, Flourish down the inside of Sukarek. Sukarek gives him a cast width of space. Thompson into the pit lane. Those are slick tires. This is too early, isn't it? So the rain has stopped. Drivers are now going to be looking at Thompson, at least those around him. And we're going to do so as well. Go to the car in front is 41.9 seconds. Yeah, he has to be he's way too careful here. It's looking. Oh, 10 seconds on Super Wreck. It's too early. 10 seconds for LDM. I think there were 10 seconds for Flourish as well. And I think Edward might have either gambled or actually done it. Yellow flag being waved in turn 1. That is Flourish off. Let's check the time penalties. We're gonna be seeing a lot. 16 seconds for LDM, 13 for Sukarek, and 0 for the two Williams cars. I'm pretty sure that Williams have this 1-2 in the back. I think he's now gonna be the dying stage of the race. So, Sukarek has pulled the undercut on that board, and yeah, the top three in their own train right now. LDM sitting in P4. Yeah, other than that, just the rest of the drivers chilling on their own, so it's not really a fight anymore. It is pretty much just a Williams 1-2 here. Now, oh, Khalifa a lap down. Oh! Whoops, sorry. Accidentally hit the wrong button. And tapped out. Sukarek, fastest lap of the day. At least you can get the fastest lap point. These gaps are definitely incorrect. Let's get some... Actually, no. Wrong button once again. So... let's have a look at the gap to the leaders. Sukarek is not leading with 9 seconds. Game is doing game stuff right now, so let's go on board with Edward, or rather with Flourish. 3 more seconds for Caden, who's currently finding himself down in P6. Or 5 seconds behind Ollie, who's going a really good pace, catching the Ferrari in front of LDM. Yeah, right now it's just a good old DRS train for these dying last 6 laps. You might actually just as well make that 5 laps, because our leader Superek is gonna cross the time in about 3 to 1 seconds, and that leaves us with 5 more racing laps to go. Yeah, Edward currently staying behind, not trying anything. He's got his race in the back pretty much. Unless he'll get a pen. Post-race penalty, but we'll see about that. Magnus, 3 more time penalty seconds added to his name. And LDM has retired, and LDM has crashed. What has happened to LDM? Out into a wall, the Ferrari car. But I don't think there are any plans for a safety car. Now he's going again? Was this an on-track retirement? I'm not sure. Yeah, but that is pretty much... That's pretty much it. In that case. I think, and with that, the championship is somewhat sealed. Now on the outside is gonna... Edward is gonna try it, actually, to take this win on track against Sukarak. Sukarak's gonna have to go the long way around. Both stay within track limit regulations. Edward on his rear pushing. Now Flourish sees a chance at taking that from him. Little wave to signalize maybe. To signalize that he can go quicker. And maybe the Williams are gonna invert positions. Magnus into the pit lane. News has himself going on. Trying to go for a fast lap here. Sukarak having both Williams cars right up the exhaust. Edward is going to try to go a long way around into turn 1. Oh, Sukarak kisses the curb and cuts across. Leaves Flourish in the lead currently. And Edward is going to have to try to go to set up the switchback here. Now Flourish and Sukarak make a little bit of contact there. Sukarak on the inside of Flourish. Sukarak keeps his nose ahead. Now the two Williams in their positions. Edward taps the back of Sukarak. And Flourish pulls out. 3 more time seconds for Thompson, but I don't think that is going to mean anything. He's also going to try to go for the fastest lap. Sukarak has broken a little bit free on 2 cars behind. You never know, there could be a 5-second time penalty coming the way of either driver. So you might as well just try to get that 1 second gap, which is almost impossible to break free of. I have no clue what happened to LDM. Because it still says nothing. Sugarek, 3 more seconds added to his penalty count, and with that I think it is pretty sure that he is not going to be in contention of this race win, even if Edward was to get a 5-second time penalty. Flourish on the rear. There. Of Edward. Could think about a move here. To Williams. Behind the Alpine car. 3 blue cars chasing each other for 2 more laps around this track. Oh my god, and that was contact between the 2 Williams cars. And Edward almost into the wall there. He has been picked up there by Flourish. On the rearing, Thompson picks up fastest lap of the race. That is 1 extra point for him. So, some decent points for the Mercedes driver this race. And with that, Edward is out of contention. I mean, you're pretty much still going to win this race on track. And not on track, after Pence. Unless he gets like a 5-second time penalty. Khalifa pit lane. Not too sure why, because the leaders are already on the last lap. So we're going to see any more racing here. I don't think we will. So we now see them going around one more time. He's gonna have... I don't think anyone can take this away from Edward. This championship. He got it in his hands, only 1 step closer to the trophy as Edward rounds the final corner, finishes 3rd, but gets the win. Edward wins here in Portimao. Flourish 2nd, and Williams 1-2. That has won on the constructors, surely. Ollie up into P3. Some awesome recoveries. Zukarek wins on track, but due to Pence drops down to P4. Knox P5. A P5 that he always wanted, but that you always take, but he probably wouldn't have wanted it in this matter. Magnus down P8, he finishes. Khalifa is gonna round it. Let's have a look at Caden. Can Caden take it a win from Thompson? No, he cannot. What about Khalifa? Khalifa can't either. P9 and P6 for them. Thompson, last car on track. He has got the fastest lap. He has had a really good race thus far. Some ups, some downs. Thompson finishes P7, gets the fastest lap. And picks up the only points for Mercedes this week. So all of these, and most certainly all of these, because we're gonna have to use that race director on a few penalties. So, look through it once again. And I had the confirmation Roy didn't have a setup. So that is why he retired. So, with that, we close in on Tier 1. Tier 2 is going to be live soon with Jape hosting. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week with Tier X, and enjoy watching Tier 2. The stream is going to be live in about, let's say, 15 minutes after we take this break. So with that, good night.